Well, I hope my internet's better here. It says it is. What's going on, everyone? I am staying here at Hotel Granada now. This one is an interesting little spot. I'll show you guys a little bit. There's like kind of a interesting, it's like kind of in a big circle here. And so as it goes into a big circle, there's a little bit of in the middle. So it's an interesting little spot. But small little spot, but right in kind of an interesting area. So alrighty. So what I wanted to go over a little bit here. First was the overall market cap, because we were seeing it at roughly about 600 billion here just recently, and things have basically taken, well, what I'm gonna have to do here is do a little refresh and get this here for you guys. Yeah, better reception, much better. So currently, every time I refresh this, I'm getting a different number, which is really strange. But anyways, we are seeing 563 million in the market cap. Let's see if we can look in the last day here. So we've seen basically a huge dive. So you can see this dip here just recently. Basically, once I switched hotels, I logged back in and saw the entire market just took a dip basically in the last hour. So that's an interesting trend. Look at all of the coins here, everything's down. Everything's down. Red, red, red. We've got Ray blocks. I don't even know this one. Take a look at that. 8 share, continuing to have some interesting activity during down days, I would say. We've seen a little bit of history of 8 share kind of popping in some of these stranger markets. So I'll show you that, guys, in a little bit. Salt performing really well. Ethereum updates talks about this a lot on Instagram. So it's interesting. He's big on salt. Steam has been way down. But as we come up here a little bit, BitConnect is still kind of holding strong. It's, you know, the kind of erratic over the last few days, but we're seeing a little bit of stability here. This dip is just kind of the overall dip that we've seen in the market cap. But salt, interesting little coin technology has been taken off here recently. Taking a look at the last 3 months, you know, we saw a huge rise, you know, kind of back before October. The volumes really kind of decreased. We're seeing a lot of activity here in the last few weeks. So that's a really interesting coin. 8 share, we're seeing a lot of activity as well, kind of, you know, ramping up in November, and then in December, this one's been doing pretty well. So Ray blocks, this is a new one, but just recently taken off. It's being traded in BitGrail. I don't even know BitGrail. It's probably, sometimes when you kind of follow the rabbit a little bit, you can find some interesting activity. Here we have an exchange where the #1 currency, 85%, is trading Ray blocks. So I don't know, kind of an interesting one to look at. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing the overall market. And as you see, really the one that's been performing pretty well is Ripple. The one thing I wanted to show with Ripple, which I was kind of showing in my stream before I started having IT issues, a lot of that activity is in Korea. And if we sort by price here, the top exchanges here, they're doing a ton of activity. So the #1 cryptocurrency pair is almost hitting $1 billion in market cap for the, or not market cap, but in trading in the last 24 hours, which is on BitThumb. So taking a look at the trade volumes in the exchanges, we're seeing that BitThumb has overtaken Binance and is doing a considerable amount of volume in Ripple. So Verge was the biggest trending coin in Binance a little bit earlier. It's starting to dip a little bit. We're seeing activity in Bitcoin, NXT, Ripple, and Verge holding strong in Bittrex, #3 exchange. So all of the volumes in these 3 exchanges are pretty close. So 2.6, 2.7, and $2.8 billion in trading the last 24 hours. GDAX not doing quite $1 billion in trading. This is Mr. Lopez, our favorite cryptocurrency experts' favorite exchange. So Poloniex has dipped quite a bit in terms of its volume overall, but it's still doing quite a bit of trading and is currently trading Ripple in the #1 spot. So that's just kind of a little bit of a market overview. I'm checking the chat here a little bit. What's going on, John Oong, Sunset Rider? Cool stream. I left you a like, bro. I'm a YouTuber too, do VR gaming. I have a green screen, cam, mic, and everything. I'm doing good so far, but YouTube is hard for small channels. Good luck. Yeah, there's interesting you can do in this space. Better music. You guys like this beat? Ember has shut down the exchanges with a glitch in their wallet. I'll have to take a look at that. Been holding Salt for a while. Best performing coin. Interesting. John Voight, what's going on? Crypto Life, better reception, much better. Better reception. Sweet. What do you think about the new tax laws? Well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting topic over the next 3 months in January, February, March, and kind of heading into April. I would assume by April, most people have their plans together on how they're going to be in a situation with their cryptocurrency earnings. You know, I'm certainly going to be looking for some help on that and looking for some insights. I'm going to be looking to do some videos. So, but yeah, spend your money. Don't worry about it. Crypto dance. All right. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys here was this. I was trying to get this together on my live stream last time. There was John McAfee. Like, I remember just scrolling through my social on my phone, and he had something about Ripple. I couldn't really remember what it was. But anyways, I found this on the internet, and this was his Twitter. So he's basically saying, yeah, coin of the day is Ripple. It's probably getting added to Coinbase by New Year's end. Buy. And now he's saying his account is hacked. So this is McAfee, of course, the security guru, as Twitter's hacked. Coin of the day. I'm not going to be doing coin of the day anymore. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. But if you're taking a look at Coinbase, I mean, they're offering, they're offering Bitcoin, they're offering Ethereum, they're offering Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. And taking a look at the top coins, when we're looking at the cryptocurrency landscape here, we're gonna refresh on this bad boy. You know, I mean, in terms of the top 5 coins, you know, Ripple has been pretty consistent in this top 3 position all the way back even into when I first started getting into cryptocurrency, which is back in 2013, once I really started kind of getting into trading. So Ripple has been a coin, it's kind of referred to as a banker's coin, and but it is performing pretty well today. I think what we're going to end up seeing is there's been a lot of rumors with Coinbase, and so Coinbase definitely has a huge influence on the American market. And if they end up adding Ripple, which is basically what John McAfee is theorizing, then you might see a huge rise with Ripple. And if you take a look at Litecoin, I was kind of talking about this on my other stream. So one of the things I mentioned is we saw a huge rise with Litecoin. It came up from 0.01, which is traditionally where it's at, to the BTC price, and it's come up to 0.02 with the different activity that we saw with Bitcoin spiking. Now, what it's kind of come back a little bit in terms of its price, which was what I was kind of seeing as the trend here. So Litecoin is the #1 currency traded on GDAX in terms of volume, but it's a pretty coin. It's in a lot of different exchanges. But taking a look at the price, we're seeing it at just about the 0.017%. So as I was kind of mentioning, is I'm kind of anticipating that that's going to stay in that trend. However, if you search by price here, you'll notice that it's also trading pretty high in the Korean exchanges. So it's trading at about a 0.023. I don't know if you guys can see this too well, but BitThumb, it's trading at 0.022. I kind of look at the 4 digits of the price coin when I'm looking at it. So I'm like 1.7 and then kind of like highs or lows. But typically around that, which is doing quite a bit of activity with Ripple. The price is a huge difference here. 0.005 BTC. So taking a look at BitThumb, which is also our #1 exchange in terms of volume of trading right now, the #1 cryptocurrency pair is Ripple, and it's trading for about $1.50. If you're looking at that from the dollar perspective, you're seeing the currency being traded pretty heavily here in the Korean exchanges. So BitThumb, Coin1, and Corbit. It's about $1.50. And all the other coins have been kind of trending down. So some interesting activity with those coins. I bought a little bit of Ripple. I kind of threw a few $1,000 at it. It's interesting kind of the activity. I see that as a better than Litecoin at this point, at least with the volumes that we're seeing. I'll check on the chat here. Bring on Dash. That's why I only use Norton antivirus. Have you heard anything about the web staking wallet on BitConnect? It was on the roadmap for earlier this year. The staking gets pretty technical, and I need some more tutorials on that as well. I'm probably not going to be messing with it until I start meeting with some of the other guys again, because there's a few guys that know it a lot better than I do. So it's currently not working on my laptop. The wallet that I'm using for staking is having some issues with it, and I just haven't had time to look into it. So the web staking would be great if that is something that they rolled out. That's kind of a bigger project, and it didn't look like it was something that they were going to be adding anytime soon, potentially with the roadmap. But the thing about some of those newer developments is that it's hard to say, hey, we're going to be getting this on X and X date or part of the roadmap. It's one of these things I think that will take time to develop. So, a few other things. McAfee's been trending lately. Let's take a look at his coins he's been pumping. So we've got Electronium, Burst, Digibyte, Red, Humanic, Tron. This is terrible. Let me move this here a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So coin's not officially touted as part of the McAfee 20, but you've got Bitcoin, Verge, SafeX, Monero, Zcash, Sether. I haven't heard of that one. Some of these other smaller ones. So that's interesting little tidbit in terms of a guy that's been in the space. Crypto Doll, what's going on, girl? I wonder what time it is over there. It's probably later. But yeah, I'm checking out Forest City today. I'm pretty excited about that. I've got a guy that's going to help me do some filming, I think. So kind of cool. In terms of the internet connection, I don't know how that's going to work since I've been struggling with that a little bit. Maybe I can live stream for a little bit when I'm out there, but some of the stuff I've been seeing online is really cool. Like they got some different stuff that lights up and does some really cool things. Let me see if I can find that picture for you guys. There was it's a really interesting project that they're doing, and so I'm interested in yeah, take a look at this. Look at this. They have this area here where they kind of have like models and things of the cities and stuff that they're building, so you can kind of see a little bit in terms of it. Yeah, it's a really interesting project that they're working on, so I'm gonna go check it out, and I'm gonna do that here pretty soon. My battery is dying, so I'm not gonna stay on too long. I'm gonna make this kind of a shorter stream since I was struggling with my stream before, but I'm gonna answer some questions and see what kind of value I can bring you guys. It is 5:18 over here. In the Netherlands, super excited about Ripple and Coinbase. Invested 300 pounds. Upcoming might raise it to 1,000. Let's go to the moon and buy a ticket to Mars. 8 p.m. All right, good to know. So I'm trying to do these live streams at a time where I can get people on. So it is 12:20 here. So let's see here. I'll take a look at a few different things I was looking at while I was getting this whole thing set up. Yeah, these are some of the IT issues I'm having here. Like trying to log in like Coinbase, I just get like a blank screen. So I just get weird things going on my computer. Yeah, I bought some Ripple. So let's take a look at, why not? Let's take a look at BCC's price. It's been pretty erratic lately. But yeah, it's dipped quite a bit. You can see like the charts here, and the way they've been doing the charts has kind of been changing. It seems like on a daily basis, at least for me. Like this whole layout seems new. But price is down a little bit. I think that's a little bit more to do with, you know, Bitcoin's price, because you can see the price of BCC's been holding fairly steady. You're just seeing the price of Bitcoin starting to decline, and so that's the price in USD. So some interesting graphs that kind of show that actually, even though the price in dollar amount of BCC is going down, it's staying pretty constant to the relative value of Bitcoin. So that's really have to look at coin per USD price, because that's not always the best indicator of how a coin is performing. So when you guys are, if you are checking the markets, which I recommend if you're trading, you're trying to get into this, you know, on a pretty regular basis, I think one of the best things you can do is just educate yourself on the market. And so that's something I do on a daily basis. Is I'm always in, you know, this website, coinmarketcap.com, is the #1 website for cryptocurrency in terms of traffic. People go into it because it's one of the more reliable resources for, you know, data that's at least pretty close. You get into the exchanges and you notice the pricing is a little bit off, or it's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's a pretty good indicator of where the market is at any given time. But you know, taking a look here, you can see that, you know, everything's down, but it's all down to USD, right? And so like everything's down, down, down. Now we change this to BTC, it changes the data we get a little bit here. So Ripple's up 20%, you know, in terms of its price to BTC. Cardano's actually not doing, you know, too bad. A lot of these other coins, you know, are staying pretty consistent to Bitcoin's price. It's not, you know, really kind of moving in a sideways market, and which is kind of what I was, you know, mentioning a little bit before. So we're seeing, you know, a lot of these major coins with a lot of activity are kind of, you know, moving sideways, but you also see the market cap has come down a little bit and is still kind of hovering around that $550 billion mark. So I think once we see volumes start to return, which is kind of what we're starting to see with a few of these coins, is they tend to kind of wake up in the market, and you get a lot of trading activity when it starts getting in the billions of dollars per 24-hour period. And some of these exchanges, that's when you typically see a lot of different variants in pricing. You know, again, most of that is really kind of headquartered in Asia and Asian markets when they're trading at certain times during the day. So, you know, just as, you know, I mentioned those of you guys that weren't on, you know, having some internet issues, just kind of packed up and moved over here. And what was interesting about that is the entire market really just kind of took a tank in terms of its valuation. So if we're taking right here and we're looking at the total market capitalization of altcoins, you know, we were, you know, roughly at about 600 billion when I was on the live stream earlier, which was kind of, you know, a little bit of a healthy indicator, because we had seen, you know, pricing, you know, fairly low, but it kind of been moving sideways here around that $600 billion mark. But we saw, boom, like it just dropped off in the last, you know, hour or two. And so the market cap sank to about $50 billion. So that's a, you know, pretty substantial drop in the market. you know, what's causing that sell-off? Where is it? Well, a lot of that is in, you know, if you're looking at the top currencies trading right now, number 2 is Ripple. You know, it's Bitcoin Ripple. So Ripple is the #1 cryptocurrency pair being traded in the #1 exchange. So if you're taking a look at the top alt currency that's being traded in these markets, you know, that kind of gives you an indicator of just, you know, some different pricing trends in the market. So we're seeing a much higher price with Ripple and Korean exchanges. Thus, we're seeing a lot of trading activity in those exchanges. A lot of it is trading algorithms, trading bots. There's a lot of opportunity there. If you're taking a look even at, you know, Bitcoin, I'm going to take a look and show this, guys. So even with Bitcoin, when we're taking a look at how it's trading in the market here, what you'll notice is, geez, why is it doing this? So what you'll notice here is 18,000. I'm not sure why it is doing that. There we go, 18,000, almost 19,000 with BitThumb. So we've got Bitflyer, a Japanese exchange that's trading a little bit higher. If we take a look at this and we start looking at these, you know, huge differences in pricing, what we have here is almost $15,000 Bitcoin in terms of the US dollar value. And if we're looking at the markets here on where it's trading, sorting by price, you'll see BitThumb, you'll see Corbit, you'll see Coin1, you see Bitcoin Indonesia. You see a lot of these Korean exchanges trading Bitcoin at almost $19,000. So there's almost, you know, $4,000 to $5,000 pricing discrepancy between the Korean markets and most of the you know, larger other, you know, most of the other exchanges that are, you know, doing large amounts of value in terms of volume of trading. You know, GDAX, Politrix, some more of the American exchanges, those ones are, you know, keeping a kind of a normal pricing in terms of where we're seeing it. And that's with the number of exchanges that we're seeing, they tend to kind of stay around that pricing point. But the biggest trend that you're typically seeing in the most volume has historically been Korea, and that is where I try to keep an eye on that, because if I start to see the volumes of trading in the Korean markets break out of that $1 billion 24-hour market time frame, then you'll see a large boom in pricing typically with whatever cryptocurrency pair that is. You know, right now it's Ripple. The BTC drop was primarily due to the South Korean FUD news from the Reuters stating old news that the South Korean government was introducing transparency exchanges. Again, I need to spend some time there to see exactly kind of what the landscape. There's going to be a little bit of a language barrier. Ripple will reach $5 soon. It's 420 somewhere. Do you see any exciting ICOs coming up? You know, the one I've really been talking about is Millennium. Still working with those guys. I still need to find time to get on the phone with some of those guys to talk a little bit more about that project. So we'll see. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't been checking my Twitter as much, but there's a lot of interesting news that comes through Twitter. So I could probably take a look at that while I'm heading over, as long as my internet's good. That doesn't tend to use up as much bandwidth as some of the videos and stuff. Right now when I'm traveling, I've got the phone situation here in Malaysia is not good. You know, so it's not really one where I can kind of stream video all the time. So the connections are kind of so-so. But as long as I can get on a strong Wi-Fi connection, usually I'm pretty good. So they got a mall across the street. I need to pick up some things. I need to pick up a few different things for electronics and whatnot. Seems like it's a pretty sizable mall. There's a park here. So I'm gonna be kind of checking that out. So I'm gonna take maybe a few more questions and get off the stream here in a few minutes. Sounds like there's a reason it's cheaper to live there. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's just taking a look at their money compared to like Singapore. Singapore's money. Now, Singapore's money is way better than U.S. money. Let me say that. Like the coins are better, the bills are better, just everything's better. It's a much kind of richer currency. And you're looking at Malaysian money. It's a it's a little bit different. The coins are like dirtier. They're they're not as like new, or they just they kind of have an older feel to them. Typically, like people don't really use coins because, like, 1 ringgit is still like in a dollar form. I mean, this is a little bit of kind of what the money looks like here. I've got 5 ringgits, 10 ringgits. So there's some different things with the currency, but I tell you what, like I had 2 entrees and 3 drinks for $4. It was good. So there's, food is way cheaper over here. There's some different interesting. I'm a big guy, so like I like to eat a lot, and so food in Singapore is really expensive. Housing is expensive. They have some newer developments out here where they don't have the same types of I don't know if it's taxation or what it is, because you can tell that there's a lot more money that's being spent into public service projects in Singapore, but part of that's just the amount of money that's in that nation. Now, Malaysia is a different dynamic. So Kuala Lumpur is a urban center for business, and I still have not had a chance to get out there and explore. This is a little bit of a different dynamic because this is a little bit of a poorer part of the world, I guess you could say, like when you start kind of getting outside the city area. But they're still kind of building these like all-inclusive cities. It's like a giant structure with there's, you can see them kind of all over here. I can't show them up on my phone because the resolution's not good enough, but they got a lot of high-rise clusters kind of like clustered together. It's kind of like a Chinese style or whatnot. So and they're kind of spread out in different areas, but there's definitely a lot more people in these areas. It's a highly populated area. So yeah, I want to get rich, move somewhere. I always love Robert's comments. If someone wants to me, they can have my debt to my job and all my aggravations too. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Yeah, if you guys could give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. That helps me develop this channel, get more views on my page. So that's always much appreciated. Let me take a look and see if there's anything else I wanted to kind of cover before I get off the stream here. You guys want to see my imposter? Let's refresh here. This is the CryptoClover clone. Now he's posting something about a clown. Christmas special. So, Agrius Mentos. You guys should go friend this guy. But yeah, he's copying my Instagram. It's interesting to see just, what he posts or what he likes to mine. This is an Indian thing here. He likes my Christmas gift idea that I gave here. He's got a picture with me and Robert and Helen, the Vietnam team. So, yeah, he is on a whole nother level. Even my jog, look at this. And he's like, oh yeah, what are mornings for? A little jog for better fitness. Yeah, hashtag fitness, hashtag Bitcoin. This guy. Need a body double. Age of the internet. Crazy stuff. Blockchain Expo 2018 Santa Clara, you there? Maybe. I guess that would be November. What kind of food do they have there? Yeah, some of the so there's there's some of the major, you have the Malays, you have the Tamil-speaking Indians, you have different, kind of dialects with Malay that actually speak, different languages. So there's also, a large, substantial Chinese population speaking Mandarin. So there's a lot of these different dynamics with all these different cultures, much more so, I would think, kind of here, because Singapore is very Chinese. There is a lot of Chinese money in there. I almost go to the extent that it seems like it's like 75% Chinese. So just a lot of money that is moving out of China into Singapore. And I think you're going to see more of it moving into developments. You're seeing people really wanting to pull their money out of the country and invest in real estate. And that's why you see some of these projects and developments that are doing pretty well. So interesting little dynamics there. And of course, I'm